In my last video, I spoke about how people identify the same things with different words. I mentioned how this enables us to judge and interpret the word so we can activate emotion. Emotional reactions is why the same thing can appear different to each person. Emotion or energy in motion is what we are. If we remove the word from the thing, we take away its identity, leaving us with just energy. We would realize that everyone is saying the exact same thing. Well, I guess some of you wanted me to elaborate on that, so here you go. Words are powerful. It can heal the most terminal disease, and it can tear families apart. Words have started wars, and it's united countries. No matter how big or how damaging, verbal or physical, a fight within a home or religion is at war. When tempers fly and people disagree, it always begins and ends with a person's perception and interpretation of the word. When words are expressed in anger and used as a weapon, an illusion is created, and people's attention is redirected and hyper-focused on the symptoms or the effect of the problem, which again, is only a person's perception of the word. Now this next part will sound like a bold claim, but hear me out. Realize or not, everyone who is experiencing life in this three-dimensional past, present, and future reality shares the same view about identifying his or herself with the one creator, but in three parts, or as I say, the three selves. I also think everyone shares the same view about his or her purpose for existence, which is to align the three and return back to one as the creator. Now the confusion and lack of awareness is due to the fact that we identify the one in each of the three with different words. You may not agree with this, but it's only because you identify your identity with words that makes you think, feel, and believe you don't. Only those three components can make a thing real. Here's an example. Now let's say you're a medical doctor and you don't believe in God. To you, a complete and perfect person is someone whose three germanic body layers, the mesoderm, endoderm, and ectoderm, are functioning perfectly. If your patient can improve the function of all three, you would say that the person would be a physically and mentally stronger version of the person's self. I don't think a doctor has ever seen a person with all three layers functioning in absolute perfect harmony, but as a doctor, that would be your goal for not only your patients, but you as well. If you ever saw a person who is perfect, you would think the person is at least of godly nature. At the end of the day, all you're doing is giving yourself a label, like atheist, by replacing the word God with perfect. You still identify with the three, but the label makes you think you are different than your neighbor who is religious. A 16-year-old boy might believe LeBron James is God. He might think LeBron James is the most physically dominant, mentally brilliant person, and he has the perfect personality. For that period in the boy's life, he will wish and try to be just like his God. Here's an example of how we use different words to identify the same identity, which basically enables the illusion of separation between man. Christians identify the Creator with the word God. God is the totality of three parts known as the Holy Trinity. They identify each self with the words Father, Son, Holy Spirit. The Islamic faith identifies the Creator with the word Allah. They identify each self with the words Hadith, Siddha, and Quran. The world of psychology uses the word mind to identify man. They identify each self with the words conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. I'll pick it up now. Hindus use the words Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Chiropractors structure chemical autosuggestions. My besties, the modern-day spiritual people who think they are different. They use the words mind, body, spirit. The natural community, they say sound, mind, body. The Buddhist calls it Buddha, Drama, Shanghai. The Chinese, I like them, they keep it simple. They say upper, middle, and lower Dantian. The native Hawaiians will say Amakua Uhane Nunihipili. I could go on, but I think you got the point. You'll like this. Every belief system and culture believes they know how creation began, and their way of knowing is the correct way. But they're all saying the same thing, only identifying their belief with different words. Christians believe that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. Hindus believe that in the beginning was a sound, and the sound was God. Buddhist believes creation began when a man demanded his master to speak his words of creation. Most indigenous cultures, native people, and all of science believes that creation began from a single-cell atom, and on the dawn of Eve was a big bang. The Islamic faith believes that in the beginning was a big explosion. Now, as far as I know it, a bang and an explosion are not only sounds, but technically words as well. Okay, I was just trying to be funny. Now let's be honest. Does anyone really know what God is? I mean, really. We know that God is limitless, so any definition is to limit God to those words. To me, even limiting God to a label is a clear sign we don't know God. I don't think it's wrong for a person to limit God to words or a definition. It's how we activate emotion. This experience is to think, feel, and believe like we know. The more we know, the more we activate emotion. That's life. Now, if we humbled ourselves and knew less, we would move from emotion or energy and motion closer to energy and vibration. You really don't want to do that. You spend an eternity in a place some call heaven. This is where you only vibrate, where there is no pain, no suffering. This experience of life is short. We spend so much time trying to be all love. We tell others they should think positive. We stress ourselves trying to feel positive. Allow your spirit to experience all of life's negative emotions and crappy feelings. Recognize the feelings and thoughts that you don't like and appreciate it, because that's the experience and that's what it's all about. Now don't worry, you'll be back to that place as perfect vibration sooner than you think. Now me, I'm different. I love making mistakes, especially really big ones, because I learn what to do and what not to do the next time. Therefore, I become a smarter and better person. I hope and pray I screw up big time when I go to bed, because to me, learning from my mistakes is success. The only failure is the day I stop screwing up, because it's the day I stop learning and growing. Because I think success is the path and not the goal is easy and automatic. All right, I'll come clean. I just use words to try and influence you to change your perception about being perfect, so you can do what most can't, which is to be yourself. That's the power of words. Leave a comment and let me know if it worked. Words are powerful. I love science and I love religion. I laugh when I watch them fight. Religion is defined as an organized collection of beliefs related to humanity and the order of human existence. I don't think religion is bad. Maybe man's distorted vision and his interpretation of the word is bad. Science will say religion is wrong and they're fools for thinking there's a God. But they too believe in a God. They just use the words dark matter or quantum field to identify that thing that no one can really explain. Science loves to criticize the Bible. They'll pick parts from the book and try to prove how the explanations and beliefs about human existence are wrong. But science has thousands of books about human existence, and it's filled with millions of beliefs pertaining to humanity. I'm sure if a religious person spent as much time analyzing the thousands of science books as the scientists who analyze the Bible, they could easily do the same. Science will use words like hypocrisy to describe Christianity, because they have so many denominations. But if you named only a few of the denominations in the science religion that began with the letter A, your perception might change. In the science religion, you have acoustics, ecology, ecology, aerobiology, aerodynamics, aerolithology, aeronautics, agrobiology, agronomics, agrocliptics, anatomy, anthropology, ethnology, astrology, homology, archaeology, astrophysics. I'll just stop. But those are just a few that begin with the letter A. Now science would probably say, but you named all of the denominations in our church, but religion has denominations within denominations. Again, if we didn't judge the words, we would see that in the quantum theory denomination, just like religion, they have many denominations. You could call it quantum mechanics, quantum chromodynamics, quantum optics, quantum computing, quantum cryptography, quantum chemistry. I'll just stop. And those are just a few in the quantum denomination. Science use words to attack religion, like when they blame religion for being responsible for so many wars and hate crimes. Now, I don't know if that's true, but isn't science responsible for creating the weapons that are used to kill the people? Science likes to say religion is wrong for representing some fictitious god, or this faith is the holiest and that faith is the best. And maybe it's true, I don't know, but doesn't science play God by seeing what scientists from what country can create the deadliest atomic bomb and kill all the people? Oh, but the Vatican is this and the Vatican is that. They have $8 billion. You know, if you really combine the net worth of the science religion, the Vatican would look third world. Look, I love science. No, really. I enjoy every denomination within the denominations. The best part about science is their commitment and involvement to try and understand not just human existence, but God as well. Or maybe I should say quantum field. By the way, they study God religiously, and so far, they found that it's some type of energy that connects all of us. Amazing, right? The point of this is to show you how powerful words are. The science community believes they are the exact opposite of religion. They're not. They use different words to identify the same things and concepts as religion, so it appears they differ. I'll leave you with this. I mentioned that knowing and believing is a good thing as it activates emotions. I should mention the good parts about not knowing. My work is to basically identify and resolve conflicts that are making people feel diseased. For me, beliefs can be a problem because it can influence me to feel and think something that is only true to me. I still have some, but I work on that problem every day. One of my beliefs is knowing that the words "I don't know" are the most powerful words that you can say. If we are full of ourselves and we know the answers, very often when someone who we don't identify with tries to explain or teach his or her beliefs, our emotional reaction blocks or makes us miss the lesson that could have taught us how to be better people. Even when we know the answers, just by saying the words "I don't know," we empty ourselves from emotion and all of its effects, like the ego, feelings, thinking, assuming, interpreting, and judging. Being empty allows us to listen with compassion, so the teacher can teach and we allow ourselves to receive the lesson and be filled with life, really. It's the people who we think we don't identify with that really teaches us about ourselves. Being empty allows us to respond with understanding, and we can teach each other. This to me is responsibility, which is the ability to respond and not react with emotion. Now, I don't expect anyone to do or even understand this next part, but maybe it can somehow help you. I don't fix and I don't heal anyone. I take full responsibility for my own reality, and I gave up trying to understand others. I have a relationship and I communicate with myself. I only try to know myself, and this helps me to accept people exactly how they are. Not wrong or right, not good or bad, just absolute perfection, spirit vibration, even if they don't see it.